Mao the dragon did not see this coming. Every single kid he raised turned into an absolute legend. The black cat became mentor to the Hero King, and little Hui joined the heroes party and helped take down the Demon Lord. The rest of the kittens carved out their own legends too. History would remember them as the 7 great legends. It all started not too long ago, when Mao asked Kuroa, who just got back to swing by the royal capital. With his skills he could definitely flex a little for the cats there. Mao kept reminding him, just stay a little while, and make sure you come back. Kuroa agreed without thinking twice. I mean, he's never been great with humans anyway, but the moment he laid eyes on the newborn prince, something clicked. The baby couldn't sleep, so Kuroa just started playing with him using his tail. Right then a maid walked in. She wasn't even surprised. Mao is practically a national treasure in this kingdom. Kuroa apologized for barging in uninvited, and said he'd properly meet the king tomorrow. Morning came real quick. The king welcomed Kuroa with open arms. Had heard the stories about this cat, the one who took down a bear all by himself. If a cat like that could teach his son, what an honor that would be. Kuroa didn't say yes right away. He had no idea what kind of person this little prince would become. Wanted to watch him first. The king was fine with that. Told Kuroa to roam the castle freely, and if the prince didn't click with him, he could leave any time. And just like that, years flew by. Kuroa stayed and watched the young prince grow, and the prince absolutely adored Kuroa. Those were some peaceful days. But then the king dropped some news on Kuroa. Another kingdom was at war with the Demon Lord's army. He wanted to jump into the fight, but a king can't just run off to battle whenever he feels like it. So he sent a ton of supplies instead. Everyone thought the war was gonna spread like wildfire. But just days later, the heroes party brought back incredible news. They had beaten back the Demon Lord's forces. Kuroa rushed over to see what was going on, and that's when he spotted the mage in the heroes party. It was one of his own brothers. His jaw literally dropped. Little Hui had actually made his childhood dream come true. He didn't go say hi though. He chose to stay by the prince's side instead. Soon enough it was the prince's 12th birthday. With a face that handsome, all the noble ladies were practically throwing themselves at him, but romance was not on his mind at all. His dream was to become an adventurer, to become as strong as Kuroa one day. So that night during the fireworks he bolted, gave the king a real headache, but he didn't try to stop him. He just blessed his son and wished him a safe journey. And so the prince and Kuroa left the beginner's forest behind, crossed over into the neighboring kingdom. To keep his identity hidden, the prince hacked off his long hair without a second thought, decided to disguise himself as some country kid, even changed his name to Stan cause it was easier to say. Once that was all settled it was time to rest. They had no camping gear whatsoever, so he just climbed up and slept in a tree. Way safer up there. Kuroa just stared in disbelief, like that's the kid I raised right there. Next morning rolled around. Kuroa woke up feeling sore all over. He got way too used to those castle couches. Sleeping in the forest again was not hitting the same. That's when he noticed the prince had gone full wild man. He buried his fancy clothes in the dirt. Gotta sell the whole local kid act for real. After all that work his stomach started growling. Time to find some food. His eyes locked onto a rabbit nearby, and he just pounced and went straight for the kill. Kuroa just sighed. This wild child had fully embraced his primal side, but he was still worried. Like dude, eating it raw is gonna wreck your stomach. The prince said he'd studied this. He knew a spell to make his body tougher. Once they were full, the two kept heading toward the neighboring kingdom. Along the road the prince spotted a bear, and his face lit up. He grew up listening to Kuroha's bear stories non-stop, so he was dying to test himself against one. He grabbed the stick off the ground, held it like a staff ready to throw down. Kuroa tried to stop him, yelling at the prince to be careful, but the prince was already charging in. It gave Kuroa a real headache, so he just sighed and threw a lightning spell right behind him. Together they took the bear down fast. Kuroa hauled the bear parts to town and sold them for decent coin, then bought a full set of beginner gear. The prince was thrilled. He finally felt like a real adventurer. Kuroa scolded him though, told him next time he goes hunting, pick a fight with something more your own level. Yeah, he's got his back, but still be smart about it. With the gear all sorted, their adventure officially began. But the prince's rise to fame, becoming the legend known as the Hero King, that was still a ways off.